Austin Florio here from Patience and Consistency, and today I am going to bring you a body weight, full body workout that you can do from home. If you've been in the market for a personal trainer, look no further. Today I am going to guide you and give you tutorials on how to do movements body weight that you can do right now with me. So today we are going to start off on the ground with our head rested, pull the heels in. You can do whatever you want with your arms. You can put them on the ground. You can put them on your stomach. You can reach up to the ceiling just to keep the shoulders active. But from here, we're going to start with a pelvic tilt. And all I want you to do is think about squeezing your butt, but keeping that belly button down. And we're only going to do 5 of these, but I just want you to get used to moving the pelvis. It's something that gets locked up, something that I do with a lot of my clients. You can do a little pause there. And what I want you to think about doing is just trying to drive your hip up to the ceiling, almost that tailbone part of your hip, and then release. You can even do a little bit of an arch. We're trying to move that pelvis as much as you can. Drive up. It's almost like a little mini bridge, but we're not actually getting that mid-back off the ground. I'm doing a little bit more than 5 reps. Think about squeezing your butt at the top. It's a very weird, awkward position to get yourself into. Good. When you're finished with 5 of those, from here, what I want to do, same setup. Now we're going to start working the hamstrings, the posterior chain, and I'm going to go over some of the common flaws and what I hear with clients as we do this movement. So we're going to go heels somewhat tucked in. I don't want you to bring the heels all the way into the body. We're going to walk them out just a little bit. The further the heels are, the more hamstrings you should feel. And I want you to think about pushing through the heels, but I want your full foot flat down on the ground. And I want you to think about driving that hip as high as you possibly can up to the ceiling, and then release, slow and controlled. You can even drive the knees out in that top position. We're trying to feel your butt, especially in that top position. Think about contracting the glutes as much as you possibly can. Squeeze at the top. You're gonna think about breathing out as you drive that hip up as high as you can. If your toes come off the ground, that is okay, especially if you don't have the best ankle range of motion. And then nice deep breath in through the nose on the way down. I would stay with the strength numbers here. Go anywhere from 6 to 8, but keep it controlled. You know, with body weight movements, it's very easy to just go through the movement, do a lot of repetitions, but I want you to really focus on doing slow and controlled movements so that you're feeling the right muscle groups as you're doing it. Good. From there, we're going to do an abdominal exercise here. These are called dead bugs. A little bit of coordination here, so a few starting off points. We want to make sure that the knees are tucked in to the chest as much as you possibly can, so that this way we don't have any low back discomfort. And to start, what I want you to do is just extend that leg out as far as you possibly can. If you feel your hips popping, which is very common, I want you to just really focus on trying to get those knees tucked in as much as you can and crunch your stomach and maybe just limit the range of motion to the point where you don't feel popping. And for the most part, as per physical therapists would say, as long as there's no pain associated with the hip popping, it is okay. Let's try to go for a solid 6 on each side. Think breathe out as you extend out, and then nice deep inhale on the way back in. If you have to reset and pull the knees in a little bit more, that's fine. Let's get 1 more each way. 1 more. Good. So from there, so far we have released that lower back, a little bit of mobility. We've worked the back of your legs. We've worked your core. Now let's go into the most popularized upper body exercise that we can do. I want you to do a push-up. For the push-up, if we're going to stay on the knees, what I want to suggest is you actually walk your hands forward a little bit and you walk the knees back, because we're trying to keep the body as straight as possible. So from here, we're going to let the hip come forward and we're going to let the body come all the way down. Trust yourself. You can lie flat down on the ground. It's okay. And then from here, I want you to think about pulling those shoulder blades down and back pushing through the knees, pushing through the toes, and I want you to drive through that ground as much as you can. And don't think just the palms. I want you to push through the fingers, the palms, as much as you possibly can and drive yourself up. With elbow positioning, I want you to think about keeping them relatively close to the body, right? We don't want to be rotated in with our hands and pushing the elbows out here. We want to keep the hand neutral, middle finger points straight up. And then I want you to keep the elbows almost at a 45-degree angle. Let yourself drop all the way down so we get that full range of motion. And then I want you to think about breathing out as you push yourself up. Think like you're the big bad wolf. Nice deep inhale. And then you're gonna blow the house away as you push yourself through. Let's go 2 more of these. One more. And for the most part, just like almost any movement that we would do, I want you to play around with your hand positioning, right? If that's bothering your wrist, maybe go a little bit wider. You can even try to go on your knuckles. If you have 2 dumbbells, you can hold on to the 2 dumbbells. Keeping the wrist neutral might feel a little bit more comfortable. You just have to play around with it and see what your human body is capable of doing and what works biomechanically best for you. So next movement, we're going to do a Superman with a scapular retraction. And that's just a fancy way of saying, let's work the upper back. So Supermans, they're a little bit on the awkward side, but we're gonna start by raising both arms, both legs simultaneously. From here, I want you to think about nice deep inhale through the nose and breathe out as you lift everything up. Pause there for a second, squeeze your butt and release. Let's try to go for a solid 5 of these. If this feels uncomfortable, I want you to do opposite. Right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. And that's gonna force your glutes to work. But if they feel okay, let's continue to do all 4 at the same time. 1, 2, squeeze that butt, reach the arms up as high as you possibly can. Let's go 2 more. 1 more. Good. So I mentioned the scapular retraction. We did not do that on this. So to work the upper back without any kind of weight, without any resistance, it's pretty difficult. But one of the main ways that I've found, especially just to, if you're beginning, if you want to work the upper back and strengthen the shoulders, this is a great movement here. So you prop yourself up, and I want you to think about pulling those elbows down and back as much as you can, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then reach up as high as you possibly can. And we're just trying to pinch those elbows back as far, really pinch the shoulder blades down and back. The shoulder blades are those 2 big bony structures, and you're trying to reach as far forward as you can. The shoulder blades are gonna release, and then we're trying to tuck them down and back again as we bring those elbows into the rib cage. And for this, I want you to go anywhere from 6 to 10, as long as your low back feels okay. If it's too much on the low back, we can just stay flat down, look down on the ground, and do a little less of an arch. But of course, if you can get that little arch and it feels okay, you're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You're gonna work that low back, and you're going to work the upper back and the shoulders all at the same time. Good. When you're finished with those, let's get into some of the more dominant lower body exercises. A squat. There's so many different ways to do a squat. We can do a conventional squat where we go feet about shoulder width apart. I want to show you from this angle. And we let ourselves come down as far as we possibly can. But a few things to think about here. Number 1, everyone always says, keep the knees behind the toes. That's really hard to get that full range of motion. So I want you to challenge yourself and allow the knees to come over the toes just a little bit, as long as your heel is staying completely flat down on the ground, okay? From there, I want you to also think about letting yourself fall forward just a little bit so that you can get down a little bit deeper into that hole. Think chest nice and high, but I don't want you to think high and upright torso. I want you to think about just keeping your chest in that top position. So what I like to do is go hands straight out in front of me and just try to maintain the hands over my shoulders to reinforce that good posture. Or you can do prison squats where you put your hands behind, and that'll also help reinforce that good posture throughout the movement. With the squatting motion also, we can go a little bit wider and work more of a sumo squat, which is gonna get more of those inner thighs and the glutes. Where we go down, we push the knees out, still pushing through those heels. This one's going to decrease the range of motion on what you can get, but that's okay, because you're still gonna get a big stretch in that inner thigh, in the groin. So you can play around with different positioning, and then if you wanted to really work just the front of your quads, you can go feet completely together and try to work yourself down. And of course, if you do not feel comfortable doing squats without any kind of assistance behind you, put something underneath you. Put a medicine ball, put a couch, put a bench, whatever you have. If you have something in your house that you can hold on to, like a counter or the back of a chair, I want to try to go over a reverse lunge. So reverse lunges can be very scary, but if you can hold on to something, especially as a beginner, I want you to stand really close to something, right? I want you to think about, especially in the beginning, I want you to just get used to trying to get into the range of motion. So with repetitions here, I would only do 1 to 3 on each side, especially if you're starting off, but just try to feel it out. And I want you to slowly work yourself down as far as you possibly can, and you can use that upper body to help assist get yourself up. Nice slow and controlled repetitions here. You're gonna drive through that front foot when you drive yourself up. And then one of the flaws that I see are people going down and letting these toes just rest. This back foot is super and extremely active during this movement, and I want you to think about pushing through those back toes as much as you possibly can. If you're following along with me, go 1 more on each side, drive through those back toes. Think you're gonna breathe as you drive yourself up. Breathe out, nice deep inhale, 1 more on the way down, and then breathe out on the way up. Now, if you followed all those movements, let's finish off with 1 more core exercise, because core is so important, especially when it comes to just being overall fit. So you have 2 options here. I always highly suggest, even if you're starting off, just get down on the elbows, and then from here, walk your feet back. So these are called planks. I want you to think shoulders over the elbows, if anything, a little bit over, so that this way we're trying to make that body as long as we possibly can. And then I want you to think back completely flat, right? So the butt doesn't want to sink down. We don't want to be down here, but we also don't want to be up. We want to be as flat as possible, hence the name plank. Think it's a plank on a boat that you're walking down. And with bracing, I want you to think about trying to brace for impact. If someone was to jump on your back, you want to be ready for that, and that's what's going to help you use your stomach as much as you can. And in the beginning, with a plank movement like this, it does not have to be long. It could be 10 to 20 seconds. I actually have a client couple that's about to come in. They're 89 and 90 years old, and they plank every single day, whether it's for 10, 20, 30 seconds, but they just fit it into their routine. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bodyweight movements are the best. I'm actually sweating just from doing 1 round of this. You can do all those movements with me. Use that as a warm-up, and then just continuously do it. Do all those movements again. Do the pelvic tilts, do the hip thrust, go into the dead bugs, go into the push-ups, and just continuously do that 2 or 3 times and progress yourself every single week. That's what I would have a client do who maybe is scared to use weights in the beginning, hasn't exercised for a long time. These are great movements. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell for more notifications so I can continue to make these videos. And of course, most importantly, if you're looking for a structured strength program, take a look in the description below on the link OEPD, 1 exercise per day. It is one of the most sustainable and realistic strength programs you will ever follow. I have helped hundreds of clients get stronger over time just with that program alone. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you guys next time.